Pixar's new Inside Out show is a freaking dream come true. Not only is it really fucking good, but it might actually just be Pixar giving us a metaphorical lens into their own personal struggles after releasing several flopped movies in a row. The story of how they were almost fired and how they plan to revitalize the future of the Pixar studio moving forward. While definitely not bad movies, Pixar's recent releases haven't exactly raked in the cash Disney was hoping for. There was honestly a lot of pressure riding on Inside Out 2 performing well. There were rumors of Disney wanting to completely shut down Pixar and have them basically just work on the next Frozen sequel instead of doing their own thing. So Inside Out 2 going on to shatter box office records was exactly what Pixar needed to justify its continued existence to its parent company. It's just a shame that the current Pixar trend seems to be that their new original IPs flop, while the sequels to their old IPs are smash hits. I mean, we all know how much Disney loves a good cash grab sequel, and isn't every Pixar sequel that does well just another argument for them to make more? Now, I'm not completely against the sequels. Some of them were great, and I'm okay with like half of Pixar's releases being nothing but sequels if that's what helps fund the passion projects, especially if these projects are as good as Dream Productions. This is a show where the Pixar team was not afraid to experiment, step out of their comfort zone, and try something new. And they've done that by basically taking a character we've only seen on screen for about 3 minutes and building an entire show around them as a framing device to basically tell their own personal story. So they've taken that one director lady from Inside Out who was in charge of making Riley's dreams and centered the entire show around her. We get to see the relationships Paula's built with not only her colleagues, but to Riley herself. And it's this relationship Paula has to Riley that I see as the metaphor these writers are building as the relationship Pixar has with their audience. Paula being the Pixar directors, Riley being the audience. You get it. While Riley's been growing up and finding more interest in fashion and boys, Paula continues doubling down on rainbow unicorns and sparkly glitter dreams because, well, Riley loved those dreams then. Why wouldn't she now? And to me, this is Pixar's way of expressing how they feel like they've been failing to captivate modern audiences in their recent releases. Like, the magic that once made their movie so special just isn't resonating with the same audiences anymore. That they're just getting tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. Riley is ready for something new. But thankfully for her, this show expands on the dream production concept to say that not just Paula, but multiple directors will actually trade off in who's producing Riley's dream that night. So rainbows and unicorns won't be the only thing she gets to dream about. In fact, it's become an extremely competitive environment. With your job on the line, if you can't manage to consistently produce hit dreams that aren't just good enough for her to remember, but to change Riley's life, she ends up creating a pretty cutthroat competition with her old assistant director that ends up getting promoted to her own biggest competition, showing us just how cutthroat it can be directing movies in the middle of these streaming wars, the dreaming wars, sorry. We watch as Paula struggles to connect to Riley using her standard dancing unicorn routine, and seeing how Riley was just mocked at school the other day for still liking cute kids' toys, she's just not having it. If Paula wants to keep her directing job, she's gonna have to force herself to learn how to work outside her comfort zone. Pairing up with this new crazy assistant director straight out of the Daydreams department, which, great character by the way. His abstract improvisational approach to storytelling clashes with Paula's by-the-books, stick-to-what-you-know works method in the best kind of way. And it's only when Paula learns to understand what works in these different approaches and let go of her own past successes is she able to really listen to what Riley needs now. And at that point, they're able to make something that truly speaks to Riley. And I mean literally, Paula speaks directly to Riley by inducing a lucid dream. It's Pixar's creativity at their best. When Riley realizes she's in a lucid dream and she's in control, she may still want to go to the dance with her friends, but that dance is also gonna include rainbow unicorn and a shower of glitter. It was never that Riley grew out of them, she just wanted to enjoy them on her own terms in new and exciting ways. It honestly feels like they're showing us direct parallels to the way Pixar's shown internal growth over the years. Being forced to adapt to this rapidly changing landscape of Hollywood and streaming services, they started to doubt themselves. But the amazing quality of this show, plus Inside Out 2, is proof that these writers still got it. As long as you're always willing to try new things, and the story you're telling comes from the heart, the audience will relate to it. Dream Productions is a sign that Pixar Pixar is learning how to adapt. They're back to being experimental instead of relying on what they knew worked in the past. Instead of making 5 Inside Out sequels, why not continue to evolve this franchise into new and exciting mediums we've never seen before? There is so much untapped potential in these worlds that Pixar's built, and the way they tell these stories don't need to be limited to traditional cinema. What if instead they made an original sequel story and packaged it as a video game? Who knows, it could be fun. Why not make a spin-off show with the production value of a movie? That's basically what Dream Productions is. I guess, all in all, Pixar's learned that sequels aren't inherently bad, and original ideas aren't inherently better. But as long as you're always experimenting and pushing the boundary of the medium forward, they can continue to do great things. And hopefully Disney's learned that Dream Productions is a Disney Plus project done right, while taking the concept of a Moana show and turning that back into a movie at the last second leaves you with the steaming pile of shit. But hey, at least they're both experimenting.